Okay guys, welcome to another video from Zendo Football. This video will go over cover 2 man. In this video I'm trying to think of what I went over. We slightly went over proper alignment, but I will make another video going deeper into that. But we primarily went over strengths and the rules and logic in cover 2 man. I highly suggest that you watch the video. I think you can get some nuggets from it that you can utilize into your game, and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright guys, welcome back to Zando Football. In this video we're going over the 2-man under defense. Some may hear this and just immediately click away or never even click the video because they don't want to hear about 2-man under. They think it's just such a vanilla defense. It's easy to understand. They know all the intricacies of it. But I can assure you that there's probably something in it that you didn't know about. And I noticed a lot of people don't play 2-man under in this game because they think man coverage is supremely bad in Madden. It is bad in a lot of different areas. Madden does have a lot of concepts wrong, in particular man-to-man concepts, but they have a lot of things wrong when it comes to zone and everything else. I mean, Madden's pretty much wrong in a lot of different places. So that shouldn't, stop you or negate you from at least learning about 2-man under, what they have right in the game, so you can implement man-to-man coverage into your schemes and know where it's strong and know where it's weak. A lot of times when it comes to just playing a coverage very well and maximizing the potential of the defense, it just comes to understanding where you are strong and knowing where you are weak. Okay, so on the screen here we have levels called on the offense. I'm not going to go into the logistics of that play. What's most important is the defense. I have 2-man under called. Obviously you know what's going on here then. So this is locked up man-to-man, 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 man-to-man. The 2 in the 2-man under is representing the 2 deep safeties, and both of these safeties are playing deep half responsibilities. It's a double high safety look. Post snap, they're going to drop to their landmarks and look to play top down on routes underneath. They don't want anything to get behind them. Okay, so a lot of people may dust their hands off and say, okay, that's it with 2-man under, I know it. No, one thing you need to understand about 2-man under, I'll go ahead and play this play real quick so we can go to the replay. Okay, in football, everything is about relating to your help. You want to play to your help, not against your help. Okay, so if you are the force player in the run fit, it's just an example. You want to play with outside arm free, and you want to funnel, the runner to your help. You get into issues where you fight inside and your outside arm isn't free. You're playing against your help. So if the guy breaks contain, it's just wide open, and that was your responsibility. It's just an example. So in 2-man under, being that we have this safety over the top playing deep half, okay, this awards the ability of the corners and the defenders underneath. You see how they're playing inside of their particular assignment? Okay, that is because they are playing inside leverage, inside technique. They want to play inside hip, get aggressive on inside breaking routes, and they're playing the trail technique on these receivers. And both of those techniques is due to the fact that you have outside deep help. You have outside help, then you can play harder inside. That's why we're inside. And you have over the top help at the same time, so you play underneath, which is trail. Okay, everything is relating to your help. Okay, so let me go ahead and, as you can see here, so at least we see that Madden has this concept of 2-man under correct, right? It's a good thing to see that in the game, at least they have the understanding that in 2-man under you want to play inside leverage on your particular opponent. Okay, so I'm going to run this play. That he's running a 5-yard in, and look how the corner, you always want to get hands, well, not always, but in 2-man under you're going to try to get hands on the receiver at the line of scrimmage, and you want to force him to your outside, okay, because again you are playing inside leverage. The receiver does a good job here at the top of the route though, to get physical and just kind of like rip inside. Okay, so that's one thing I do like about Madden on this. It's not an absolute value, and what I mean by that is it's not like we have it coded that they understand that they're supposed to play inside technique, but I don't want it to where now, because the corner is playing inside technique, the receiver never wins inside. Okay, that doesn't happen in football. We want it to be as realistic as possible. You watch games and teams are playing two-man under, and sometimes the corners just get beat inside due to a savvy receiver making a move at the top of the route, getting real physical at the line of scrimmage, or getting so good with their feet at the line of scrimmage that you don't even get hands on them at the line of scrimmage. Maybe I'll show a clip of Chad Ochocinco to be a good example of what I just talked about there.
They couldn't stop me. It's not that I was a physical presence and it's not what it was. My feet, they were scared of my feet. There was nothing you could do.
So I'm going to speed this up because I want to get to gameplay footage of me playing two-man under to show you how great the defense can be when you play to its strengths, right? So we see here he rips through, gets inside. Okay, so the receiver won at the top of the route. Here on this side, the corner does a good job of keeping him outside, so he's playing inside leverage, but he loses at the top of the route. It's one thing I don't like about Madden in this game. You notice how the corner just kind of like looked like a moron and just continued running upfield before he finally decided, okay, let me go ahead and run with them. I understand what Madden is trying to do. They're typically saying, hey, this is AJ Green. He's an excellent route runner. So against this man-to-man corner who's not very good, maybe he's just going to beat him. Well, at least at the top of the route, you should have an animation to show AJ Green making a good move to create this much separation here. Okay, so at the top of the route, think about it in real life. In real life, the receiver isn't just going to run this little dig route and at the top of the route just stop and turn in and create this much separation against the worst of corners. It's just not going to happen, right? So at the top of the route, he may do like a jab step and then rip inside. Okay, he may make a move like he's going to the corner and then rip inside. Okay, in that instance, I can see the corner looking stupid and going for those moves. And then, oh man, he's running a dig route, he got me, and then he turns and he runs with him. Okay, so at least like put in animations to to show what you are showing with the ratings. Okay, so stuff like this I don't like. But we'll go ahead and play it. I'm not going to complain. I mean, Madden has so many things wrong. It's like, I can go for hours on what they have wrong. On this side, the corner loses badly. He allows him to get inside. So when you see things like this, one thing I don't like about Madden is when someone gets beat inside, when they're supposed to play inside technique, you wonder if it's because Madden just has it wrong. You know what I mean? The concept wrong. Or is it what you hope it is? You hope it's just they have the concept right, but the corner just got beat inside. Okay? Thankfully, they do have the concept right because I ran this play again, and you'll see it here, and the corner won inside this time. Okay, so he kept him outside. He's playing inside hip. Okay, so Madden has it right on the outside when it comes to understanding the concept of inside technique. I would like for the corners to play a little bit better than they usually do in the coverage on inside, because I noticed a lot of routes like hook routes, hitch routes, stuff like that just easily beats man-to-man coverage, two-man under, and I really don't think that it should be that easy to connect on those routes. But here we have Sherman, a very good corner against some scrub receiver, and we see the animation we get. He just rides him and just destroys this guy at the line of scrimmage. He's not able to create a lot of space at all and help out his quarterback, so that's good. Now, this is where Madden has it wrong in two-man under, and it's the defending of the tight end, the inside receivers typically. Okay, so right here, he's running a post route, and this is wrong. Okay, so this is where Madden has it wrong. In no instance in two-man under should this defender be playing the top of the route. Okay, if you wonder why, again, it's because in football you are playing to your help. So in two-man under, Everywhere around the field in man-to-man coverage, you are playing inside hip and trail technique. So this defender should be about here. Okay? Now, with him being at the top of the route, look at how much space is available for the quarterback to just rip this thing in there for an easy, like, 15-yard gain. Okay? It's just a great example of how not to play two-man under as the defender over the tight end. So if our defender was here, okay, now this space is not available for the quarterback to just rip it in there, okay? So you're walling off the receiver. The problem is you are in man-to-man, you are looking at your receiver, not the quarterback, because you have to run where the receiver goes. So the only available throw for the quarterback to make here, if you played it right inside hip trail, would be to put more air on the ball to put it over you and to his receiver over the top. Okay, that's what you want, though, when he's running a post pattern as a tight end here. Okay, because when you put air on the ball, it allows more time for your safety here to at least try to make a play on the ball. Okay, and one other throw that the quarterback can make in this instance would be to throw like back shoulder. Okay, so something like, you know, like here. Now you may think, well, aren't you there if you're playing correctly? You're about here. Well, yeah, but you're not looking at the ball. You're not looking at the quarterback. You're eyeing your man here. Okay, that's one of the issues with man-to-man coverage. Back shoulder throws can be a nuisance and a problem because, you know, it's very hard to locate the ball if you're looking at your man. Okay, but that's another thing that Madden has wrong. Madden doesn't have back shoulder throws in the game like pretty much at all. Okay, but that's Madden. They have absolutely no understanding of the game. They're exploiting our love for football by designing a game that doesn't simulate real football for the most part, and etc. But this is just something we have to deal with. So that's a throw that you will never have to be afraid of, the back shoulder throw, etc. I'll show you an example of Michael Vick. I remember this throw. He made a throw against Tampa 2 coverage against the Bears, and Brian Urlacher was playing proper technique inside hip, I believe, and again, he just can't see the ball, so the ball was just ripped in there for a nice gain. It was a pretty nice throw, too.
Here, just over 4 minutes left. Let's get right to drama. $154. Pass of the day.
It really is. You got 4 defenders close by, and you got a stuttered go by Brent Selleck, and Michael Vick shoots it in. They're over Brian Urlacher's shoulder. Beautiful play.
Alright, so let's take a look at some game footage and me playing two-man under. Okay, quick little history here, real quick. This particular player was like a supreme cheese player, real gimmicky. The very first play of the game, he came out an onside kick, so that usually like indicates to you that you're going to play against a cheesy player. And he would come out in 5 wides, just like you see on the screen, or 4 wides, and he would hot route like his entire team to run slants and drags. So they would cross across the middle of the field and etc. Most people in that situation would play like cover 3 maybe, or cover 4 drop zone, that sort of thing. I don't think that those are the optimal defenses to play against this because there's just too many receivers underneath, and they're just going to cross zones and put zone defenders into conflict. Okay, so you know, to me, the best defense to play against that, as long as it's not you're not dealing with a whole bunch of bunch sets, is two-man under. Okay, and the reason for that is, I mean, we went over two-man under and how the underneath coverage is able to get very aggressive on inside breaking routes. So slants and drags are routes in which your defenders can get very aggressive on them and fight to take over those routes inside. Now, also, he was very cheesy because, you know, obviously you see his team, right? He was picking the Ravens, and he would run around with the quarterback if he saw some issues downfield, and he would just run for first downs and etc. So, you know, I would sprinkle in some quarterback contain with my 4th rusher. I would contain the defensive line here and there. You got to mix it up. But on the back end, I strictly played two-man under like the entire game, 95% of the game. And lastly, when you play two-man under, you don't want to sit and play the safeties. That's the biggest thing I see when guys play man coverage, They play like the middle linebacker who doesn't have much of a responsibility, or they play the safeties over the top. Okay, and they do that because they're just not comfortable playing the corner position, at least manning him as the user. Okay, you got to get out of that mindset. I can guarantee you, when you start selecting the corner and playing corner a lot more, you will impact your defense in a very positive way. Okay, because think about it, if you had to choose between a safety or a corner in regards to which one can be more aggressive, it's the corner by far. Okay, because the safety, let me do something here. If I were to user this safety here, and I come down to play, kind of like a robber, hunting around for a pass and etc. Well, what that does is it leaves the top end of the coverage over here wide open. Okay, and what's worse is your defenders underneath are playing underneath and trail. Okay, remember, you select two-man under, that's what they're going to play underneath, because they are trusting that they have a safety over the top playing deep half coverage. So when you play the deep, safeties while playing two-man under, and then you're just roaming underneath, you are opening up yourself to be exploited over the top for an easy throw. You got the best corner in the world, okay, but if he thinks that he has help over the top, he's going to be playing underneath. And some scrub receiver will get open deep down the field over the top of it, and you may blame your corner, not understanding that it's not the corner's fault, it's the safety over the top. And, actually, I'm going to show you a clip later on of how Jalen Ramsey was in two-man coverage with the Rams against the 49ers. And, some people may believe that it was his fault to give up a big gain to lose the game. It was actually his safety who just left him out to dry. So I'll go ahead and play this on the corner here. We snap the ball, and look, we see that he's taking an inside step here. Okay, we're always trying to press at the line of scrimmage when we can. He's taking an inside release. So this right here keys to me. Okay, he's an opponent who hot routes his entire team to run slants and drags almost all the time. So he's probably running the slant. Keep going. I get more hands on him, and right here, when he steps in and he goes for that slant, I'm fighting with all my might to flatten out, get underneath this opponent here, and to drive and look to make a play on the ball. And we do just that. Get an interception. So we'll watch the entire sequence without me stopping it and being annoying. Flatten out, drive on it, get the interception. Perfect. Alright, so let's take a look at another example. I'm making adjustments here. And you see right here, obviously I'm on web. I don't remember why, but I believe he was going to go to this trip side over here, one of these receivers over here. And then I see him make this signal here to that receiver. So I immediately click over to take over this corner. See that hand signal? Okay, so first and foremost, he knows that I've been playing two-man under the entire game. He sees these safeties over the top pre-snap. So obviously, he knows that, okay, there's going to be deep half safety help over the top of this receiver that I just hot routed. With that in mind, what routes would you hot route this receiver to running, knowing that there's a safety over the top and a man on him? Okay, the only ones you can think of maybe are like a 5-yard out, a 10-yard out, a drag, a slant, or an in route. Okay, so if we play proper technique, inside trail technique, get aggressive on inside breaking routes, we take away 3 out of the 5 routes that he can possibly run. Okay, that's a 60% chance of making a great play on the ball. Well, in actuality, I think it's weighted more to 95% of the time we're going to make the perfect play on this play, because the percentage chance of him running an out route or a deep out are slim to none based upon his tendency. Okay, so looking at this, you may think, wow, 60% of the time we're going to make a big play. Well, no, actually it's probably 95%, just based off of opponent tendencies and etc. So in that situation, two-man under is the perfect play, call to play in this situation. So let's see what I did. Post snap, we see he takes an outside step, and then he takes an inside step. So I see that he's trying to fight to get inside. We get a jam on him, and right here, like, I'm already fighting to get trail and underneath. I so happen to be over the top, so that's the one mistake there. But that still doesn't negate me. It doesn't deter me from trying to fight to drive down on this football. because I know that's where it's going. He takes a slant route, we fight over the top, and we get the pick. Let's watch it again. You see the hand signal, hurry up and get over there. The good thing about playing corner, he doesn't know that I'm the corner until post snap. Now he knows. But, you know, interception. So don't worry about what's going on the bunch side. We're still playing two-man under. But what I want to show you in this play is, you may, after seeing the last couple of plays, you may think, well, see, you have to user the corner for them to play proper technique inside in two-man under against like slants, drags, ins, and stuff like that. So wouldn't the weakness of that be your opponent just going to the other side? So just call slants on both sides of the field and go to wherever the user isn't. Well, on this play, you will see the computer, the AI, you see how he has that hand signal over there, right here. He hot routed this guy to a slant, and you're gonna see, I'm not gonna click on this guy. Watch how the computer plays it. They play it properly because it's two-man under. Now sometimes they do lose because that's real life. Sometimes your corner gets beat inside. You saw the clips of Chad Ochocinco getting a very nice release and just beating the corner really bad. Sometimes you lose inside even though you're trying to maintain inside leverage, but then sometimes you win as corner. Okay, you're not going to win as corner inside if they're not supposed to play inside technique. Okay, it's very rare. So being that they're supposed to play inside technique in two-man under, and Madden understands this, so they code it in a way in which they're supposed to play inside, sometimes they win, and you will see the computer win here on their responsibility inside. Perfect, right? Let's watch it again. See how he's inside, trail underneath. He's playing his man, okay, and not the, when you're in two-man under, you're not looking at the quarterback, you're looking at the man. So that's the only reason why, he didn't get an interception. However, he did prevent the play, okay? Now, you have some great corners, some really good corners, and sometimes some bad ones will make a really good play to where they'll whip their head around. This is real life. They'll whip their head around even though they were in two-man under and make a play on the ball, okay? So sometimes that does happen, okay? So I just wanted to show you that to, prove to you that, the computer will sometimes, play proper technique in two-man under, so you don't have to sit there and worry about, slants being, destroying your coverage on the other side of two-man under, or drags, or that sort of thing, okay? So this is a good defensive coverage to call against, routes underneath from wide receivers running inside, breaking routes, primarily from formations that are not in bunch or stack. Okay, so this video was just going over two-man under, the strengths of it, and we really didn't get into the weaknesses. I'm going to get into the weaknesses of cover 2 and cover 1 in a video coming up. Okay, I think this happens again. Look at this side of the field. You see how the corner, see that? Corner play proper technique all the way. He's trailing the receiver underneath. I mean, that slant is just not open. Okay, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you keep coming back for more.